Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Miss Kafue. So ladies, today we are talking about the entitlement to be respected that men have. Let me tell you, there's nothing sadder as that. And these men who demand and are entitled to this kind of respect, like they value respect so much. Like, I'm sure you know how those men really look like in terms of their face, their bank account, their character, like, oh my God. And a man who is demanding respect does not deserve it because respect is earned. So let's talk about this perceived need to be respected as a man that these men have. Let's talk about that. Why does that even exist? Why don't we women have that need to always be respected? Despite bringing nothing to the table, just because you have been born a woman, now you should be respected. Please, respect is earned, sir. It's earned. So let's jump right into this video and then I'll be back to give my take on it.
Men's obsession with respect is weird. I remember my own abuser being like, "You don't respect me." Correct. Honestly, my immediate reaction was like, of course I do. And then I thought about it. I really don't. But the question is actually, why did he think he deserved respect? Why did he feel so entitled to it? He didn't value mutual respect at all. He wanted me to respect him, even though he behaved disrespectfully constantly towards me. And this comment right here, right? He strangled her because he didn't feel respected. Now, if you look at the social conditioning, a lot of men see respect as a core thing that they deserve, that they need. It's tied to their strength, to their success, to their dominance. They believe that they're meant to be leaders, providers, protectors. That makes respect feel non-negotiable to them, right? Because it's tied to their sense of self-worth, to their purpose in life. And they also see relationships as hierarchical. They're at the top and women are down here. They equate being respected by their partner with having power and control in the relationship. So when they feel disrespected, they might even see that as an attack on their masculinity as a whole. And it's wild, right? But they will do things like abuse and strangle, and it's justified to them because it just restores their masculinity in their mind. "I only strangled you because you didn't respect me" is something that a lot of men would be like, makes sense. Not all men, though. Listen, the truth is, men who just need respect, they have really fragile egos. A perceived lack of respect, it triggers their inadequacy. And that's going to result in retaliation and anger. But what I find the most interesting is that they want respect, but they're not willing to earn it. Now, in my opinion, that stems right from the patriarchy. They're entitled to it because they're a man, because they need it. I've literally heard men say that it's a biological need. So if you're not going to give them the respect that they deserve, that they're entitled to, they're going to control you and they're going to make you give them respect. But it's not actually respect. It's often fear, especially when we're talking about this in the context of domestic violence. And they confuse fear with respect. They confuse fear with admiration. For some men, respect is just unquestioning compliance, blind loyalty. It's not about mutual equality, and it's definitely not about mutual respect. What's wild? The patriarchy is at the center of all of this. The very system that they hold on to so tightly harms them. Men really need to redefine what respect means. They need to separate control from respect. They should be focusing on their character, not having power and control and dominance over another person. But listen, my page, it's for women. And so my advice to women is don't date men who value respect so much. Those men that place respect up here, red flag.
When a woman's properly loved and provided for, you don't have to demand respect because it's given. If you are demanding respect within your home, it's because you're not handling your responsibilities as a man. Good women don't get upset for no reason. Good women don't complain for no reason. They're tired of repeating themselves. If you want a woman to be submissive, give her something great to submit to. You men have given a woman the devil. And you're trying to figure out why your home's in a state of hell. If you want to love that woman, if you truly love that woman, you would elevate to become the man that you need to lead her correctly. If not, leave that woman alone. A woman is a bill. For all you men, I'm not providing for no woman 100%. A woman is a bill. It's our job to maintain her physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. If we want to see her looking good, we must make sure she has the clothes. Pay for the clothes, brothers. If you want to see her in shape, pay for the food. You men are demanding things without handling the responsibilities that come with it. You can't demand a woman to do nothing if you're unable to direct, finance, guide, protect, love, and elevate. When a woman is properly loved, brother, you don't have to demand respect, because masculinity isn't loud, demanding, and controlling. It guides, it protects, it loves, it heals. All praises.
Women are sold the concept that we are just more feminine, we are just more nurturing, we are just more maternal, as if social conditioning doesn't play a hand in this. I just was watching a video of like a social experiment where a dad was sitting down with a young boy and gave him 2 pancakes and just to see what he would do, and the boy ate both the pancakes. And then when the little girl sat down, she had 2 pancakes, she saw that her dad didn't have a pancake, looked at hers, gave her dad a pancake. That is all socialization. It is socialization for women to believe that we are supposed to cater to a man's needs, even if that means getting in the way of our own. Women are not afforded the luxury to be selfish because we will constantly be berated for being so. I'm in this whole corporate Dare to Lead Brene Brown thing at my work, and it's really interesting because a concept that keeps coming up is that a lot of the women, if not all of them in my group, are saying I have been written up for saying that I don't speak flowery enough, that I'm too direct, that I'm not soft enough. And then I look around the room and I go, men, have you been heard that? Have you been told that? Have you gotten that feedback? And they all go, no, I've never once gotten that feedback. And I speak very directly. This is so deeply woven into all of our interactions. And I think that that's why I get so frustrated with parents, is because people think that they can just frivolously bring kids into this world without doing the deconstruction and the deconditioning of harmful behaviors. And the ones who suffer the most in this is women. It reminds me of, if you have a prenup, you make the rules. If you don't have a prenup, the government makes the rules. And in the same way that, like, with your life, with your parenthood, if you are not making the decisions outside of the chatter of what has been told to you, somebody else is making your decisions for you. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but if you're on autopilot, you're not questioning the world around you, you are not making the choices or thinking for yourself.
A man wants your respect more than he wants your love. This is why you do not be with men who you do not respect. See me, I cannot respect a broke man, a man who has no ambition, a man who lacks purpose, a man who wants to destiny swap with me. So I avoid relationships like that. So women, understand this. He don't want your love more than he wants your respect. But I love him. But you keep disrespecting him. You keep calling him broke. You keep reminding him how he ain't had the money for the light bill. You keep reminding him how he cheated on you, how he went upside your head. Stop doing that. If you can't get over it, if you can't respect a man like that, you need to leave him. You will never catch me arguing with a man, ever. Emotional men are the most dangerous men you will ever encounter. And when you have a man in his feminine energy, he is more prone to be more emotional and violent. So you have to date and marry men who you can respect and honor. I can't respect a broke man. So I'm not going to try to build him to be a provider and then wait around and gamble and play Russian roulette to see if you're ever going to become that man. No, if you're not a provider, we will never meet. You would never have an opportunity with me. Ladies, this is why you have to know your birthright. So you will stop wasting your time with men who try to destiny swap with you. All right, I need all my ladies to comment below and say, I know my birthright. All right, ladies, make sure you click the link if you want your lips hydrated, moisturized, and juicy. I got all 3 lip plumpers. I'm headed to the post office right now to ship off orders. Click the link. You get free shipping. All right, I love you.
What's with the abusive men demanding respect when they're not entitled to any? You're abusive. Why would you get respect? And they don't want to earn it, right? They just want to have it. They demand it. They're entitled to it. I remember when I was still with my abusive ex, he once said to me, like, you don't even respect me anymore. And my first thought was like, but then, he was right. I didn't. Absolutely right. Not respecting him anymore was kind of like a natural consequence of the way that he was treating me. So with all the disrespect that I can muster, F abusers. You get no respect because respect is earned and respect is a two-way street. Reciprocity, kind of important. I'm the man of the house. You need to respect me. Okay.
Well, I don't feel respected. You're not being really respectful.
Men act as if it is their birthright to be respected. Frankly, they feel entitled to your respect. This sentiment runs true regardless of the ways that they have disrespected you. What I say to that is if you want respect, you have to earn it and show it.
It is about time I talk about these men, and I am sure you have seen them. There is this type of men that think they should address every woman they come across on social media. Bro, social media is just friendship. It is a social platform. In one occasion, one man had the audacity. He had the audacity to tell me that the Bible says women should respect men. And I was like, bro, if you want to quote the Bible, at least quote it the way it says it. The Bible says women or wives should respect their husbands. I am not your wife. I am not your wife. So why are you demanding respect from random women on social media simply because you cannot get it from home? Bro, go home and demand respect from your wife. It is your wife, not a social media friend, okay? A social media is just a social media. You respect me, I respect you. You do not respect me, you come diarrheaing on my post. I'm gonna show you where the bathroom is for that purpose, okay?
Here's a huge lie of the patriarchy that I fell for a long time. And it's the idea that men just inherently need respect. And so therefore, if your partner, your wife, anybody brings a message to you and it's not delivered with respect and decorum and politeness, that therefore the message can be disregarded. What a joke. You probably heard the quote from Laurel Thatcher Ulrich that well-behaved women seldom make history. I wonder why that is. Right? It's because men will not hear anything that is delivered with politeness in a culture that reinforces constantly the power dynamic that we are in charge. Right? So everything else that's delivered with decorum is able to be easily dismissed, right? Because now we're just chatting, we're just having a night, we're just having a friendly debate. And whatever your idea is not my idea, and we can agree to disagree. And because I am the one in power, I get to do what I want to do. And if you come at me with any level of intensity or passion, then oh my gosh, you're just an emotional creature and you need to be under control and put in check. How sad. In fact, we did put women literally in mental institutions for decades because they were speaking up, and we called them insane. There's insanity here, but it was never the women. Never. And this played out so sadly in my own life, because I have an incredible partner who is a badass and so talented, but I couldn't see her because she had been told that she couldn't speak up for her needs necessarily. And she also assumed, rightly, that somebody who really loves her would be leaning in with curiosity and would want to know what she was thinking. And so when she would bring up an idea that was uncomfortable to my own fragility, I would debate it. And if she did get passionate, I would say, you need to calm down, we're just talking here. And no surprise, eventually she stopped telling me the things that were important to her. And when I finally discovered that years later, there's some things you can't undo. And I don't know if we'll be able to repair our communication. I think we're on the path to do that. I don't know if we'll be able to repair our intimacy. That may be irreparable. So I just hope that somebody else can hear that. Somebody else can see this and do better. Do better. It's the idea that men just inherently need respect.
Most men, myself included, have been raised to not know what respect means, and I'd like to elaborate on that. Now, that's a great video by Jay Fisher. He talks about how one of the conditionings of patriarchy is that we believe men are deserving of respect, we're entitled to it, and he is so emotional and powerful and vulnerable and transparent with his share there on how that has impacted his marriage and what he's trying to come back from. And I really think you should check the video out. I want to talk about how this notion under patriarchy creates what's called aggrieved entitlement and affects another area of our life, which is our friendships and relationships with other men. Now, respect, we are taught to believe, means servitude or obedience, right? You listen to me. If you respect your father, or you respect your husband, or you respect another man, it means that you're going to listen to what he tells you unquestioningly. That's not what respect means. The definition of respect is one of two things. One is a feeling of admiration for someone else because of who they are, or their accomplishments or successes. The other definition is consideration or due regard for the thoughts, feelings, ideas, traditions of another person, right? So a synonym for respect could be thoughtfulness, consideration. But that is not servitude. That is not obedience. Having consideration for the thoughts and feelings of another person is empathetic. It's compassionate, but it's not unquestioning following whatever they want, right? But since we're raised to believe not only do men deserve respect, we're entitled to it, but also respect means what I say goes. If you respect me as a man, you're going to listen to what I have to say. That creates a situation in which men are so terrified of holding one another accountable and ever questioning one another for the harm that we do or the things that we do that should not be followed. For example, if we look at Greek life in universities here in the United States, or sports teams, places where there's a lot of SA, very few men hold one another accountable and talk about the harm that we do because we are so afraid of going against the rules or speaking out against another man because that would not be respecting him, right? That would be questioning his actions in some capacity. And we can't question a man, right? You have to be obedient. You have to be in service of the rules. But I think that this creates a world where we don't have full, authentic, trusting relationships with other men, because how can you trust someone that isn't willing to call you on your BS? Who isn't willing to say, you messed up here, here's what I expect from you, or, hey, that doesn't sound right to me. Come on, man. And if we're so scared that having that conversation is going to lead to a fight, right? That you're being disrespectful and now I need to get back at you. I need to defend myself against this flagrant disrespect. I mean, that creates that culture where prevalent use of violence, where we're getting into meaningless fights instead of having these great accountability conversations. And I think that a lot of men and boys would benefit from reframing our understanding of this word respect. Now I want to talk about aggrieved entitlement. Aggrieved entitlement is a term I think first coined by Michael Kimmel in one of his books called Angry White Men. And aggrieved entitlement is what happens when men are not given the respect that we think we are owed. And it has these consequences such as smash schmootings. It has consequences such as SA. Any situation in which a man is, for example, rejected in a dating context or talking to a woman at a bar, and how that can be really dangerous for women because men don't like hearing no, and we're not accustomed to that word no. It's because we perceive it as disrespect. You didn't follow along. Our reaction to that, if it is violence, if it is anger, is called aggrieved entitlement, right? Because I didn't get what I was owed. If I ask you out, or if I want to talk to you at the bar, you owe me time, attention, you owe me respect, right? You owe me that because I'm a man, I deserve it. And when you don't give me what I'm owed, and I respond negatively, I'm mad, I'm aggrieved, I have an anger. And this is what results in a lot of men who feel disenfranchised, who feel disempowered, who feel lonely, and then they lash out specifically at women or at the world, or with, again, smash schmootings or acts of violence. It's because they're not feeling powerful or in control that they should be, because we are, as men, owed that, right? That's what we're supposed to do as men, is be in control of things, have power. So aggrieved entitlement is a really important thing to understand so that we can all collectively do better as a culture of men and hold ourselves and one another accountable to make the world safer, because right now it is dangerous for women to tell a man no in any context. And it's dangerous sometimes for men and boys to tell one another no. It could lead to a fight. So if we want to change that culture, we need to understand aggrieved entitlement, and we need to redefine respect and get the accurate definition. I just have consideration for your feelings, and I'm going to be thoughtful. And we need to become accustomed with calling one another as men in and say, hey man, what you did there was messed up. And I just hope that this video is helpful for folks, and I'm happy to elaborate on this concept. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.
Onyechi made a post on TikTok, and I can't remember the content actually, but I was fascinated by the response she made in a video, which made me go to the comment section of the first video, and the conversation there was ridiculous. A man said because he is a man that he must be respected. And then the lady that was trying to enlighten him, and I think the lady tried, she's very patient. Someone like me, I usually block and delete those silly comments. I'm not patient with silly men. I am not patient with very foolish men who feel entitled to be respected. Patient, Mona is the way. So, but the lady kind of engaged him. I was like, you don't demand for respect, you earn it. But come to think of it, the average boy is taught that he must be respected, regardless, as far as he's a boy. Go to a family setting, the boy is told that he must be respected, either verbally or non-verbally. A boy and a girl wakes up in the same family, and only the girl is doing the house chores while the boy plays away. And then once food is ready, he's called, Junior, come and eat. Yeah. Then you go to school. Well, I know it's not in all school, at least not in the Western world, but in our African schools, you will see things like a boy, only a boy can be the head boy. Yeah. A girl cannot take the first position in terms of leadership. It has to be assistant. Yes, I've actually seen a school who does this. They said it is against their policy that a girl should be the head while the boy is the assistant, and so the girl has to be adjusted to becoming the assistant. Now we go to different settings, workplace. You see it. A man that is a cleaner would expect, because he's a man, that the manager should respect him based on the fact that he is a man. Meanwhile, he's not even doing the job they asked him to do. Now come to the church where you think that the church will balance it. No, the church will not. Go on a wedding day and go and say that you want to, that you're attending a wedding and the pastor is preaching. You will see the man hammering. The man loves respect him, blah, 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 blah. And 30 minutes of that message is on how the woman should honor, worship, roll on the floor, respect, shout hallelujah because of man. If he manages to spare 2 minutes for the woman, even in that 2 minutes, he's still stealing 1.5 minutes for the man. It's all about man must be respected. Man deals with respect. Man, in a nutshell, what I can deduce from all of this is that we are raising men that have very fragile ego. Men that must be rubbed. Oh, sorry, darling. You know you are this. That's what they are raising. We are raising men that you cannot call out on their misbehavior. You are raising men that are very foolish and stinky. You are raising trashy, shitty men, and you say you are raising men. A man will come onto a total stranger's post and be demanding to be respected simply because he has penis. Make it make sense. You are not. In fact, the dysfunction is so obvious that these men cannot have a healthy conversation. Once you say something that exposes them, they feel attacked, and the next thing they are doing is to come for you. They start insulting everything about you. They don't even attack the post. They attack you as a person. How fragile can you guys be again? Like, you take delight in being foolish, yet want to be respected. Is that not Delulu? You are very foolish. Have you ever seen people respect a mad person on the road? Like, hey, good evening, man. They will even think you're mad. Because that's what you're doing. You are mad and you want us to welcome and honor you as a madman. You are sick. You need help. You think that because you are a man, we should honor you, we should respect you, roll on the floor for you, say Hail Mary for you, do all the gymnastics simply because you are a man. And you don't think you're mad. I beg, I don't even know. I don't know. This past generation, they're not even helping us. I've come to a resolve that all the fights we are fighting right now, my generation may not necessarily enjoy the benefit, but I'm hoping, I'm praying that the next generation will enjoy it. Because I see them, I see those generations, they know they look your face. The ones that are saying they don't want to be married. You are the one that will beg. So if you like, adjust. If you like, don't adjust. They play. It will shock all of you. Maybe when they are saying divorce people, they're always making it look like only women are divorced. Only women are divorced. Not be man they divorce. Or the man is not a divorced man, he's still a married man. I don't even want to go to that aspect today.
The reason why the average male struggles with leadership is because it belongs to the feminine, and he struggles to integrate the feminine side to himself. And one of the characteristics of leadership is sympathy and understanding. That is a feminine trait. In order to understand somebody, you got to be able to listen and sympathize and empathize with the problems, and then you have to be a problem solver for the people who follow you, because being a leader is being a servant.
That's a fact.
Breaking this shit down. Does not want to serve. he wants to take by nature. The female is the natural giver.
To be honest, some of you have some really fascinating definitions about what equals respect. Most often what I see people calling respect is actually obedience. Now, I was incredibly intentional with my wording on this video. I said telling someone who they cannot talk to, it doesn't matter who it is controlling, period. That is indisputable, because a controlling relationship is one where one partner dictates or influences the behavior of another. And yet so many people in the comments justifying this kind of behavior, calling it respect or boundaries. It is not respect. Real respect in love is mutual. It means I trust you as an autonomous adult to make your own choices. But when fear and ego take over, that's when we twist respect into I get to decide what you do so that I can feel safe. You are not respecting them and their autonomy and their free will. You are using control and you're calling it protection. And it's also not a boundary either. Boundaries are what I do, not rules that I enforce on you. Saying I won't date people who talk to their ex. That's a boundary. Saying you're not allowed to talk to your ex. That's control. And here's why this matters. When we justify this type of controlling behavior, we create double standards. Today, it's who they talk to. Tomorrow, it's what they wear. It's where they work. It's who they see. And I get it. I used to think this way too. I used to think that it was a respect issue. But when I actually unpacked it, when I realized all of my uncomfy feelings were actually about me and not them, I realized it was fear and ego. Fear of being hurt, fear of not being enough, and ego wanting to control the outcome so I feel safe. The truth is simple. Telling someone what they can or cannot do is control. Genuine love is rooted in respect for personal choice. If something crosses the line, you are absolutely free to leave, but you don't get to rewrite control as respect.
If you want a woman to submit to you, you also give the woman respect. You also, yes, you can't say that. For me, I don't agree with the people who say, look, no matter what, submit to me. I don't believe that. Would you want your daughter in that position? Mm-hmm. Whereby a man is not respecting her, giving her grounds, providing safety for her, and she just, I always, when you look at it as your sister mm-hmm. or your daughter, you have a different approach to things. Because most often than not, we separate ourselves from women when we're having a discussion, and we say that, oh, women are standalone, is women. But we forget that it is an interaction. And we came from women, and we will continue to interact with women mm-hmm. as we live this life.
Right.
So when I see my sister in a position where she is forcing herself and putting herself, and this is what has led to a lot of abusive relationships,
okay,
whereby people are forcing themselves to submit to someone, and they later come out with stories that I was being abused.
A man who demands to be respected is actually yielding to the very thing that makes him a man. A man who takes his healing, growth, and transformation seriously, that man never expects and he never demands. He doesn't have to, because he's healing the inner wounds that have kept him in modes of control. A controlling man is a wounded man. A man healing both his masculine and feminine energetic wounding. He doesn't have to expect or demand or argue or complain. He simply leads, because he's leading himself first. A man who expects and demands and argues and complains is a man who is wallowing in his wounded feminine energy. Him living in that wounded feminine energy is simply a symptom of his unprocessed childhood trauma wounding that is yet to be healed. So why is this identified as wounded feminine energy? Wounded feminine energy is passive and is often based on expectations. And expectations are created out of a lack of direct communication, which is passive. A man who leads never has to expect or demand or argue. This man is admired and respected by his wife and his children simply because he's leading himself. He's committed to his own growth, healing, and transformation. He also doesn't base his worth on praise and attaboys and flattery and gifts. He doesn't require any of that. This man simply feels appreciated because he sees the smile on his wife's face. And that's all the recognition and the appreciation he ever needs. And when a man is living from this energy, he's living in his healing, masculine energy. And when he's there, his wife can be exactly where she wants to be, the woman she was crafted to become. I work with men one-on-one every single day to heal these wounds, so more and more men can become the men that they were forged to become. If you want more information, send me a DM.
Men do not change from conversations, they change from consequences. Women speak the language of intentions. He didn't mean to hurt me, he was going to buy me flowers. But men, they speak the language of actions and results. Why? Because that is what society rewards him for. And if you are a triple threat, which most of you are, meaning you are driven, you are successful, you are beautiful, this is going to be the most difficult mindset shift for you to make, because that same I'll do it myself mentality got you so far in terms of your career, your fitness, your finances, but it betrays you when it comes to dating and relationships, because that same hyper independence that makes you such a boss makes you a mother in your own relationship. Because here's how the cycle goes. He does something wrong, you call it out. He emotionally shuts down and pulls away, and that emotional distance makes you so incredibly anxious that you end up chasing after him, apologizing for the problem that he created. You think you're showing him empathy, he sees it as permission. You think you're giving him wifey, he sees you as mommy. Mommy loves you so much, let me clean up your mess for you while you go play. You think that by going the extra mile, he is going to value and appreciate you more. He will not. He will actually grow to become even more resentful of you, because that grace and devotion, he did absolutely nothing to earn it. And when you give something away as if it is nothing, it will be treated as such. Men do not respond to words or emotional outbursts. Men respond to loss. Loss of access, loss of attention, loss of your energy. So you want to teach a man how to treat you? Stop talking so much. Show him with your actions and reward his mediocrity and audacity with distance and disinterest, and watch everything change for you.
Ladies, you know what? I've never thought about these things consciously. Like I said in my last video about entitlement, like I've always thought about these things subconsciously, and most of us, I'm sure, have. But let's talk about these things consciously, because why do men feel entitled to your respect despite doing nothing? Like just because they were born male, now you should respect them. Like why is that? Like you even see that with partners you've dated. And these partners, let me tell you, those kind of men who demand respect, it means like they know they don't deserve it. They've not received it because of who they are, because they've not earned it yet. That's why they're demanding it. Because let me tell you, a man who has earned his respect will be respected. Even his energy, his aura will command respect from you. Let me tell you something. Respect is earned. It's earned. You can't be abusive. You can't be a deadbeat and believe that you should be respected. You can't be lazy. You can't be a princess and believe that you should be respected. You can't be broke and believe that you should be respected. You can't be like you're not even a provider. You have no vision. You have no ambition. You use women all over and you are sick. You spread this like you're just the worst kind of creature walking around this planet and expect to be respected. Just because you have 3 legs, now you should be respected. Please, please, please. And I knew there was something about it, because I always got so much offended whenever a man demanded respect from me. I always got so much offended. And I made it my point to disrespect them. Yes. Because we won't demand. It's like a man demanding for you to submit. What am I submitting to? To nothing. You gotta have something great for me to submit to. I can't submit to your bullshit, and submission comes naturally. Like, I'm sure you've ever met a man, even once in your life, who like did these good things for you. Like you felt immediately like you should just submit. You felt so good even submitting to that man. Like it should come like that naturally. Like it's just natural. Whenever a man plays his part, submission comes naturally. But if you find a man demanding for submission, it means he's not playing his part. It means he's not handling his responsibilities. Because if he did, submission will come naturally. Trust me. And don't date men who value respect so much. So much. It's so annoying. And I can't deal with such men. I think my head is too big for any man who is not securing themselves, who does not play their part. Because I won't respect you. I don't care. What will you do? What will you do? And they confuse fear with respect. And most of these men don't understand that you don't want your woman doing things for you because she has to. You want her doing things for you because she wants to. Like as women, when we love a man, when a man has done his part for you, like you feel the need to serve him, you feel the need to like submit, you feel the need like to do nice things for him. It should come like that. But these men who do nothing for you are the ones who will be here opening their wide, dirty mouths, telling you, oh, you don't even respect me. You don't even submit to me. I mean, you're not even feminine enough. Meanwhile, they have been keeping you in your masculine energy for so long. You can't even be feminine. I mean, you can't win with these men. So whenever you get a chance to hurt One and be a bad one. Be one. We are tired. Tired of these monsters. In this day and age, even like giving birth to a daughter is like endangering them, because you're bringing daughters to this kind of world. It's bad. Like, it's bad to think about it, because I also want a daughter so bad. Pray for me if you're hearing this. Please pray for me. Anyway, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I wrote like 3 pages of notes for this topic. But what I'm gonna leave you with is that society needs to redefine their definition of respect, because what men think is respect is actually obedience and servitude. It's not respect. And most people confuse respect for obedience. And the worst thing is that you'll see it in all spaces in your life, in the office, in the market, in wherever you're with a man, anywhere. You'll see that thing play out, which is so sad. So as women, you have to be very awake to catch these things and not to fall into these traps, because let me tell you, these people will ruin your life. These people will drain you with this kind of nonsense of serving them and being submissive and respect. They'll drain you. That is one way of draining you. While they don't respect you, they cheat on you. They do nothing for you. They don't reverse any effort to you. It's very bad. And once you call out their disrespect, now you're overreacting. Now you got issues. Now see you what? Please learn their ways. Learn the ways of gaslighting. People will otherwise, if you don't know, people will really gaslight you and people will make you angry. And if you're short-tempered like me, you'll become very angry. You'll be a bitter woman. You'll be throwing pans in your kitchen. Oh my goodness, because these people can really like take you there. They take you there. Let me tell you, whenever you see a woman overreacting, like if it's a video or whatever, or an audio, let me tell you, think twice. Think twice. Never be quick to judge that woman. These men will push you to the wall, and then once you react, they switch on the camera. But them, they won't say what they did to you. They won't. But for most women, it's normally like them trying to tell a man something, blah, blah, and then the man comes charging at them. Like you see the whole conversation. But these men normally will record only the part that you're overreacting. They won't record what caused that overreaction. A woman is as a result of how you treat her. If she's bitter, if she's masculine, it means you're in your feminine. You're not masculine enough for her to be feminine. You don't do your part. No wonder she has to go out there and be masculine. And in the outside world, you can't be feminine. You have to be masculine once you get out of that door. For your feminine energy, save it for yourself and your husband, or for your husband, or your partner. Anyway, ladies, have a nice day. Let me not talk, because I can talk even for 1 hour. If you give me the chance, I can talk even for 3 hours. And I have a very good plans for you, ladies. Like, you won't believe. It's not only this, like, I have a lot of good plans for you. If you've ever thought of traveling to Africa, I'm starting a tour company and I want you to visit Africa. I want to help you visit Kenya. I mean, you can be holding like, not even a show, but a girl to girl trips. Like, this trip will only be for women. Like, we tour Africa. I mean, like, we have a lot of fun, but first we'll tour Kenya. You have to tour my home country first. Number one in Africa. I'm sure you've heard of Kenya. Yes. Anyway, have a nice day and I'll see you on my next video. Bye. Mwah, mwah.